Hello friends, today we are going to start our new topic, gravitation. In this lecture, we will try to understand natural phenomena like why every object falls towards us when dropped from a height. We will study about the universal law of gravitation, which can be used to find the gravitational force between two objects separated by a distance d having mass m1 and m2. And then we will talk about the significance of this law and how it can be used to explain many natural phenomena like why all planets revolve around the sun, why it is difficult to move a big object rather than a smaller one. So let us begin. Let us first talk about the definition of gravitation. Gravitation or gravity is defined as the force of attraction acting between any two objects of the universe having some definite mass. So it is the force of attraction between any two objects or any group of objects separated by a finite distance, and these two objects attract each other with a force equal to the gravitational force of attraction between them. Let us try to understand gravitation with the help of some examples. First, the force of attraction between the sun and all the planets, causing all planets to orbit around the sun. This force of attraction between the planets and sun is nothing but the gravitational pull of sun. So in this picture, this is the sun which pulls each and every planet revolving around it with a force equal to the gravitational force of attraction of the sun on these planets. Let us take another example. The force of attraction between the moon and the earth causing the moon to move around the earth in a circular orbit. It is the gravitational force of earth only which helps or which gives the moon to revolve around the sun in a circular orbit. If there is no gravitational force, the moon will simply go in a straight line. In fact, the moon also attracts the earth towards itself with a force equal to the gravitational force. But the effect is negligible because the mass of the earth is very much larger than the mass of the moon, due to which only moon experiences the force. In fact, the force of attraction between the earth and every object on the earth is the gravitational force of earth, which causes them to fall toward the earth when dropped from a height. So whenever we drop an object from a height, it falls towards the earth, and the force which causes this attraction is nothing but the gravitational force of earth. So these were some basic examples of gravitation. Now let us talk about some important points of gravitation. The first one is that there is always gravitation between any object, no matter how far they are with each other. That is, there is force of gravitation acting between two objects lying on a table separated by a finite distance, or even two celestial objects or bodies separated by many thousands of light years. And even there is a gravitational force acting between the subatomic and atomic particles like electron, proton and other. Their effect may be very small, but it is always there because they are having some definite mass. Now, since mass and energy are equivalent as per the Einstein's equation E equals mc square, or in simple word we can say that mass is another form of energy and vice versa. So all forms of energy like photons and light also causes gravitation and are influenced by it also. For example, there is a light coming from a distant star. The ray of light may bend towards the sun because of the gravitational pull of the sun. So its path will bend towards the sun rather than going straight. Till now we got that every object on the universe attract each other with gravitational force. Now what is the magnitude of this force? To get the answer of this question, let us proceed further and talk about the universal law of gravitation. This law was given by the great scientist Isaac Newton, and according to this law, every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And this force acts along the line joining the center of mass of the two objects. That is, the force of gravitation between two objects is directly proportional product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Now combining these equations, we get the gravitational force is directly proportional to m1, m2 and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Now by removing the sign of proportionality, we get force of attraction or the gravitational force equals G m1 m2 upon d square, where the G is nothing but the constant of proportionality and is known as universal gravitational constant, and it has the value of 6.673 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Now there is a note over there regarding the gravitational force, that is, the law or this law is universal in the sense that it applies to all bodies, whether they are small or big, they are celestial or terrestrial, or even they are atomic or subatomic. That is, there is a force of gravitation acting between all small and big bodies, or even the celestial objects like sun, planets and other stars, and even subatomic and atomic elements like electron, proton, neutron, etc. Because all of these are having some definite mass, so they are having gravitational force of attraction. Now let us understand this concept more with the help of an example. Two particles of masses 1 kg and 2 kg are placed at a separation of 50 cm. Assuming that the only force acting on the particles are their mutual gravitation, find the initial acceleration of the two particles. Let us solve this question. Since the only force acting on the particles is their mutual gravitation, that is, if these are those two particles separated by a distance 50 cm, having masses 1 kg and 2 kg. So the only force acting on them is the gravitational force. And the magnitude of this gravitational force is given by G m1 m2 upon r square. Putting the values of m1, m2 and r square in this equation, we get force equals G m1 m2 upon r square. Here we have divided the 50 by 1000 because here 50 is in centimeter, but the SI unit of length is meter. So we have to convert this 50 centimeters into meter. That is why we have divided it with 100. So we get F equals 6.673 into 10 to the power minus 11 into 2 divided by 0.5 whole square. Solving this, we get the gravitational force equals 5.3 into 10 to the power minus 10 Newton. Now this is the gravitational force acting between these two particles or masses. We got F equals 5.3 into 10 to the power minus 10 Newton. Now we know that force equals mass times acceleration. Now for particle 1, the mass equals 1 kg. So the acceleration of particle 1 will be equals force divided by m1, that is mass of particle 1, which is equal to 5.3 into 10 to the power minus 10 divided by 1, which is equal to 5.3 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration of first particle, and the second particle is having a mass of 2 kg. So the acceleration of the second particle will be force divided by m2, which is equal to 5.3 into 10 to the power minus 10 divided by 2, and this is equals to 2.65 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter per second square. So these are the acceleration of two particles due to the gravitational force of attraction between them. Now let us proceed further and let us talk about the significance of universal law of gravitation. This law successfully explains the motion of planets around the sun. That is what causes them to move around the sun in their orbit. It is nothing but the gravitational pull of the sun only. It also explains the motion of moon around the earth. It also explains the formation of tides due to moon and the sun. So in this picture, there is a formation of high tide in the coastal areas in front of the moon, whereas there is a formation of low tide above and below the moon. This law also gives the force that binds us as well as every object to the earth, and the reason why everything falls towards earth when dropped from a height. Now let us proceed further and talk about acceleration due to gravity, which is denoted by g. Before talking about this term, let us understand what is free fall. Whenever an object falls towards earth under the influence of gravitational force of earth only, the object is said to be in the free fall. That is, whenever we drop an object from a height above the surface of the earth, it falls toward the earth and the object is said to be under free fall. Now, this force continuously increases the speed of the object under free fall without changing the direction of motion. That is, there is continuous change in the magnitude of the velocity, or we can say that the object is under acceleration. And this acceleration on a freely falling object is due to the Earth's gravitational force only, and hence is known as acceleration due to gravity or acceleration due to the gravitational force of Earth. This acceleration due to gravity is denoted by the letter g and has the unit of acceleration, that is meter per second square. Now let us talk about the value of acceleration due to gravity on or near the surface of the earth. From the Newton's second law, we know that force equals mass times acceleration. This is the mass of the object under consideration. Now, for a freely falling object, the acceleration acting on it is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity. So, the force becomes mass times acceleration, that is g. We also know that the force acting on a body which is under free fall is nothing but the gravitational pull of the earth, and which is given by g, mass of earth, mass of object upon the distance between the object and the center of the earth. Now from here we get g equals g mass of earth upon d square. Now for an object near or on the surface of the earth, the value of d becomes radius of the earth, which gives us g equals g me upon r square. Now the value of g equals 6.673 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. The value of mass of earth equals 5.98 into 10 to the power 24 kg, and the radius of earth equals 6.37 into 10 to the power 6 meter. Putting all these values in this equation, we get the value of g equals 9.8 meter per second square. So this is the value of acceleration due to gravity near or on the surface of the earth. Now, since the earth is not a perfect sphere, the radius of earth increases from the poles to the equator, and the value of g becomes greater at the pole than at the equator. But for most of the cases, we can take g to be more or less constant on or near the surface of earth. It is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Now there is a note over here. For object far from earth's surface, the value of acceleration due to gravity or the gravitational force of earth is given by g equals g mass of earth upon distance between the center of object and the center of earth whole square. Now if the object is at a height h above the surface of Earth, the value of d becomes h plus re, where re is the radius of the Earth. So the value of g becomes g mass of Earth upon h plus re whole square. And this is the value of acceleration due to gravitational force of Earth for an object away from the Earth's surface. Now we have seen that the Earth pulls every object towards itself with a force equal to the gravitational force of the Earth. Is there any particular name for this force? The answer is yes, and it is known as the weight of the object, denoted by capital W. So the weight of an object is the force of attraction with which it is attracted towards the Earth, and the direction of this force is vertically downwards. So the weight of an object is nothing but the gravitational force of Earth, and which is equal to mass times acceleration. That is, weight of an object is equal to mg, and the direction of this force is vertically downwards towards the Earth. And the SI unit of the weight is same as that of the force, that is Newton. Now there is a note regarding the weight. We know that the mass of an object is same at any place in the universe, but the weight of an object varies with location, because weight depends on the acceleration due to gravity, which also varies from place to place. That is, mass is constant at any place in the universe, but weight depends on the location of the object. Now since weight depends on the location of the object, let us try to compare the weight of an object on Earth and on Moon. Similar to the weight of an object on the Earth, the weight of an object on Moon is the gravitational force of attraction of the Moon on that object. Now let us consider an object of mass m. The weight of this object on Earth will be We equals g mass of Earth, mass of object upon radius of Earth whole square. We are considering that the object is on the surface of the Earth. Now, the weight of the same object on Moon will be Wm equals g mass of Moon, mass of object upon radius of Moon whole square. Let this equation be equation 1 and this be equation 2. Dividing equation 2 by equation 1, we get Wm upon We equals mm upon me multiplied by re upon rn whole square. Now, mass of Earth is 5.98 into 10 to the power 24 kg. Mass of Moon is 7.36 into 10 to the power 22 kg. Radius of Earth is 6.37 into 10 to the power 6 meter, and radius of Moon is 1.74 into 10 to the power 6 meter. Putting all these values in equation 3, we get Wm upon We nearly equal to 1 by 6. That is, the weight of an object on Moon is 1 by 6 times smaller than the weight of the same object on Earth. So, if you are having a weight of 36 on Earth, your weight will become only 6 kg on the Moon. And this difference is due to the difference in the gravitational pull of the Moon and the Earth. The gravitational force of attraction of Moon is much smaller than the gravitational force of Earth, because the Moon has very low mass and size as compared to that of Earth. So let us consider an example. Mass of an object is 10 kg. What is its weight on Earth and on Moon? So we know that the weight of an object on Earth is equals to mass times acceleration, or acceleration due to gravity. So we get the weight of this object on Earth equals mass times acceleration due to gravity, and it equals 98 kg. So the weight of the object of mass 10 kg on Earth is equal to 98 kg. Now we studied that the weight of an object on Moon is 1 by 6 times the weight of the object on Earth. So the weight of this object on Moon will be 1 by 6 times 98, which is equal to 16.33 kg. So this is the weight of the same object on Moon. So that's all for this lecture. I hope you understand all the topic. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.